Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you about Ledger STAX, the latest product lineup of the Ledger hardware wallets. Now, as you might know, I'm a big Ledger fan, especially recently with all the drama in the crypto markets, especially the exchanges which are going bust. I'm really worried about leaving any of my funds on the exchange, and I've pretty much withdrawn all my funds. I use the Nexo exchange, and right now I have them all sitting in my Ledger hardware wallet. Myself, I'm using the Ledger Nano S Plus and I'm really happy with it. However, a couple of days ago, Ledger came up with the latest innovation, which is about to drop in a couple of weeks, and that's called the Ledger STAX. So today I want to run you through it, give you a little bit of an idea. Obviously it's not out yet. Is it worth paying premium and getting one of those, or should you better stick with your current one, or just get a cheaper model? With this, let's get started. Right, so as soon as you go on the Ledger website, you're obviously going to be greeted with the latest innovation, the Ledger STAX, which honestly looks pretty sleek. I'll show you in a second what exactly it is. In fact, this device has been designed by the same gentleman who designed the Apple iPods and also was part of the iPhone design. So really, you can see where it draws its innovation from. Right, so then let's have a look at basically all the products and we can compare all the devices. So right here you see all the devices they currently have in their lineup. So now it starts with the Ledger Nano S Plus, then the Ledger Nano X, which is currently the flagship model that you can buy and arguably the most versatile. And then on top of it will sit the Ledger STAX. So it's not out yet. It will come in Q1 23. So let's have a look what it offers. Not cheap at 241, so let's have a look if it's worth the price. Right, so as you can see over here, really a very sleek design, and that's something I really appreciate in the new device, because one of the biggest issues I had with my current Ledger, it's really clunky to use. I mean, you basically have two buttons that you can click and a very small LED screen. So this will definitely help make things easier and use the device more often, because it's basically a touchscreen similar like your mobile phone, but the size much smaller. It's actually the size of a debit or credit card. So they want to keep it the same dimensions of a credit card. You could technically take it wherever you go if you happen to do transactions on the go, but it is much more portable and more importantly, much more usable, because my current Ledger, I actually locked it up in my safe. Then I have to remember to take my USB cable to connect it to the Mac. I need an adapter because, it's a different USB connection. So it's a little bit cumbersome. So having something like this obviously would make connections much more seamless. They are stackable. Not sure really why you would want to have so many of them, because it has a big capacity. You could stack them on each other. You can see on the folding display over here the battery status and whose device it is, etc. So that's quite sleek. But once again, I would probably say if you have one of those, that will probably be enough. You don't need too many. You can see very sleek, very minimal. And I'm just going to play you the video so you get a better idea of what it can actually, do and how it looks. So yeah, as you can see here, it's stackable, it looks very stylish and sleek. E-ink touchscreen, so that's really good, similar like your Kindle, etc. So it lasts for a long time. You can personalize it, you can have your various NFTs, arts displayed on the front, which is cool. And it has the latest chip and software, so arguably even safer than maybe some of the previous generations. And obviously works together with the Ledger Live app. So that's very seamless, using it with your laptop or with your phone. So you wouldn't need any cable, etc. It lasts a long time, so you don't have to charge it all the time. So honestly, it has a lot going for it. As you can see over here, it has Bluetooth, USB-C, touchscreen, wireless charging. It supports NFTs. It's customizable. Over 5,000 different coins should be more than enough for you. A secure element chip, again, whatever that means, but obviously I suppose that will be yet another iteration of the latest version. And it is Mac OS and Windows compatible, and of course iOS and Android. Because with my current Ledger Nano S Plus, I can actually not directly connect it to my iPhone. I would have to use my laptop to go and connect to the Ledger Wallet Live and do any kind of transaction. So in the future, I would actually appreciate being able to do it without my computer and do it only with my iPhone. So that's something to consider if you wanted to. Other than that, obviously the usual sales spiel over here, trusted by millions. No Ledger device has ever been hacked, the physical device. So for me, that's really reassuring and that's great. And obviously everything you need, all your assets are stored, smooth experience. I think that really is one of the main selling points, the design and the smooth experience, because you have touchscreen, not these clunky buttons. You have a lot of space to read and see your holdings, etc. So it makes it very simple, making it yours. I mean, if you wanted to, it's great. If you have some fancy NFT you want to display, but for me, that's not really relevant. Bluetooth equipped, I think that's really good. Yes, there is a slightly higher chance it could be more likely to be hacked, but again, the hacker would need to be very close to you and then have to be a really extreme hacker able to penetrate the device, and then would still have to crack the device itself, which I mentioned before, a Ledger device has never been hacked yet. So honestly, I think this is something we can accept in terms of security risk. Wireless charging, once again, if that's applicable for you, they say the battery lasts for months, so I'm not really sure that's a huge thing. Sleek build, absolutely. I think that's one of the main selling points for that device, and obviously supports with the Ledger Live app, which all the other Ledger sticks do as well. A couple of technical specifications. The finishing is aluminum and plastic, but it apparently feels very solid. It only comes in one color. In terms of security, that's the latest security chip, and obviously, I think in the future, as they keep on growing and innovating, they might make some of the older sticks obsolete and not support anymore. So I think that's really the main differentiation. Not that, you like the design more or not, but I think in order to stay secure, you might want to upgrade. The same with old iPhones, old devices. They're not supported anymore because technically they can't keep up with all the new firmware, etc. So it's important to once in a while upgrade your hardware device. Power and battery, it says here, it will last for several months. So that's great, obviously. And yeah, size, same as a credit card sized, and weighs only 45 grams. So technically you could carry it with you all the time if you wanted to. I still obviously advise against it because there is no need unless you do daily transactions with your cold wallet, but it's probably unlikely. And yes, the e-ink screen, which is basically always on and drains very little battery. It is though black and white grayscale, so it won't show your NFTs in color. So that's something important for you. It wouldn't be supported over here, but you could actually show it on your Ledger Live apps. And then they have a couple of FAQs, which is actually quite good. What happens, for example, if I lose my Ledger STAX? That's a good question. And obviously, you don't have to worry. Same with any of your hardware wallet. If you lose them, basically the person would still need to know your PIN in order to get in. So if you have a 6-figure PIN, it's highly unlikely that they can guess it within 3 times, because if they need more than 3 times to get it right, it will basically wipe out the entire device and it resets it to 0. So there wouldn't be anything on it anymore and they couldn't use the stick anymore. So that's really powerful. So that's inbuilt. So anyone who finds it, they still need your password in order to use it, and otherwise it will get wiped out and you have nothing to worry about. You buy a new hardware wallet, put your 24-word seed phrase, and with this recover your private keys and migrate to your new Ledger device of your choosing. So yeah, here's actually the point where they say, if somebody finds my Ledger STAX, can they do something? And as it says here, 3 wrong PIN entries will basically automatically reset your Ledger STAX to factory settings. So that's really good to know. And here also the question, can I migrate easily from my current Ledger to my Ledger STAX? And absolutely, there's a way. And by doing this, you can basically migrate any of your current Ledger devices to the Ledger STAX if you wanted to. Because in the Ledger Live app, you can have different cryptocurrencies and are controlled by different Ledger sticks. So you could have 3 different Ledger devices and all of them control different parts of your cryptocurrencies in that Ledger app. So that's just something to know. You might want to have one or migrate to another one, or you might want to keep 2. It's really your choice. So if you ask me, Kai, which Ledger device should I go for? That's a tricky question because I didn't really have hands-on experience with the Ledger STAX yet. It looks great, but let's have a quick look what the different devices offer. So as I mentioned to you, I'm currently using the Ledger Nano S Plus and I'm really happy. It's the cheapest model and it does everything it has to. It can hold more than 5,000 coins, so you really have everything you need to stay safe and take self-custody of your coins. So honestly, if you're just getting started, I can still really very much recommend this Ledger. And actually it does 95% of all the other 2 devices. So that's definitely a safe bet and I still very much recommend going with this. Now, if you need Bluetooth connectivity in order to connect to your phone on the go without having the need for a cable, etc., then obviously the Ledger Nano X is still one of the best and most affordable option, and actually the only option you have right now available, as the STAX is not out yet. It has pretty much similar functionality as the Nano S Plus, but it has the added Bluetooth. So if you want that easy connectivity to your phone, then this can be really a great option. Now, looking ahead, Q1, once the Ledger STAX is being released, I think it looks really sleek and I really like the direction Ledger is going. And it's good that they're innovating, otherwise they would be stuck with those 2 devices and future players would take them over. So I'm really happy that they're innovating, coming up with new things, etc. But the price point is almost 3 times the amount of the Ledger Nano S Plus. So honestly speaking, unless you really have a huge amount of money sitting on your crypto wallet and you use it quite frequently to do transactions, I'm really not sure right now this is actually needed. It looks sleek, no question about it. It's much more user-friendly, absolutely. With the touchscreen always on, you can customize it. I mean, it's gonna be so much more joyful to use it than any of the other 2 sticks with their 2 buttons. It's really a bit cumbersome, especially once you set your PIN every time when you use the device. Using something like this and just punching in your PIN, so much easier, I can tell you, really. And connecting it to your phone on the go, wow, amazing. But is it worth for me right now spending that much money and upgrading from my current Ledger? No. Actually, right now it is not. I want to see it once it's out. Obviously, I want to feel it. I want to see what else they innovate and can do with it. But right now, if you ask me, I'm not going to go for that and rather wait what else will happen in the future. I think it would be really cool if they added even more features like authentication online. You know, sometimes with Google, you can have like a hardware key to authenticate yourself. And then, for example, I could see myself using that to connect to my laptop to authenticate logins or bank transactions or buying stocks, etc. So to have an added security feature. So not just to look after your crypto, but potentially even more things to keep your online identity, passwords, etc. safe. So I think there's really a Pandora's box that they could open and access in the future. But if you ask me right now, I just don't see the really added value for that. So there you have it, guys. I'm really happy to see that overall there is updates and innovation happening in the cold wallet space, because right now with all the exchanges having a meltdown and I don't know how many will actually survive, it's really, really important to take ownership and self-custody of your crypto, because otherwise you're really leaving it to chance. It might be there in a couple of months or it might not be if the exchange go bust. So it's very important to take ownership. So one way or the other, definitely get a Ledger device. There's also Trezor and some other companies out there. But again, I had great experience with Ledger and I can really recommend them. They've never been hacked. So that's really good. In terms of which device you go for, I guess it also depends on your budget. I'm really happy with my entry model, but in the future, I wouldn't mind having Bluetooth functionality in order to connect it to my phone and just, have easier transaction and be able to send money if I wanted to, or withdraw it online, because actually some people pay me in crypto. So I would want to withdraw it into my cold wallet. So having it to do every time on the laptop is a bit cumbersome. So having it, sort of more easily available via Bluetooth with my phone, it would be easier. So hopefully in the future they will add even more functionality and making it more attractive. Right now, I think it's a little bit overpriced for what it does. And if you don't have a Ledger wallet yet, then what are you waiting for? Use the link in my description below. Get yourself a Ledger wallet, stay safe online and take care of your crypto. And in the process, you help out the channel, which is truly appreciated. And also, let me know in the comments what you think about the new Ledger STAX. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.